Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Collaborate and Pull Together, a podcast where we highlight all things positive on and off the table. Tonight, we're going to have a special guest, Jason Costantini of Table Monkeys, joining us. He'll be returning back with us, along with Steve Fernandez and Dan Citrella. They will be joining us as well. For some reason, my other technical difficulty is that the link that I sent isn't working. So give me a few moments. I'll let people climb it into the viewership in the chat, say what's up, say hi. I hope everybody is well. Ask any questions. It's going to be for Jason, myself, Dan, or Steve. Bear with me. This day I have all the technology ready to go, but not all the not all the guests are on screen with me yet. Bear with that. Let's see. Why isn't that working? There we go. Let's try this again. How was everyone's Easter? I hope everyone had a good Easter. And I'm looking forward to a whole bunch of amazing epic events coming up. Let's see if that works. Steve Fernandez, hopefully that worked out. If you're having an issue, then maybe everyone else is. So let's see if everyone else that's supposed to be on gets the right link. It's weird that it does that sometimes. I think I'm going to be looking at a new system. So any recommendations my viewers have, please feel free to chime in with the suggestions on how to have a better podcast, a better show. Hey, what's up, Drew? How's it going, man? I hear you're going to be swinging into Long Island this summer. I'm looking forward to having you, man. A big shout out to Steve for helping making that happen. If you hear a little funny sound in the background, it's my son feeding the dogs. He's trying to be as quiet as a mouse, but it's all good. All right, so everybody has been sent the link again. There we go. How's it going, man? How's it going?
Good, man. How's everything going?
Good. Nice shirt. I need to get one of those.
Yeah, man. I got it from my buddies from fucking Beast Mode.
Those boys are something else, man. They got some energy. I heard you were talking a little bit about that event, and I heard it was a good event, a little small, but good energy, which is all that matters to me. I like hearing about good energy.
Yeah.
How's it going, Dan? Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on?
Not too
Everybody
much,
can hear you
yeah?
loud and clear?
Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome this past weekend, though. Great tournament. All the Beast Mode guys were there. A lot of the High Five guys were there. I was
How
there
many?
and stuff. Jesus was doing the brackets. Sergio and Crazy Train were pretty much reffing the whole time, and then they were competing too. And then Pedro was helping out with the awards, so the whole crew was helping out. They were doing the weigh-ins too, so it was a nice place, good event. Not too many people, but either way, it was a good event. Great time with good people. You know what I mean? I got the shirt. They hooked me up with the shirt, which I really appreciated. Thank you so much, Jesus, for making the shirt for me. I I pulled at the event too, which was fun. And yeah, man, can't wait to do it again. They actually
Their event was at the Excel Sports, right?
say again.
Their event was at Excel Sports.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was.
actually post. I'm gonna post up
Oh,
the link to their venue that they practice at.
And then next one's gonna be Black Betty's. That
Yeah,
Betty.
that's gonna
yeah.
be
I saw you pull. I was watching the live stream, Steve. I was watching you pull towards the end of the tournament.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the live stream for a little bit.
Yeah, I pulled this kid out 198. I didn't really want to hurt him, so I just kind of top rolled him real quick, and then I had to go up against David. I think it was left hand, and he destroyed me. Thank God he didn't.
Yeah.
He's a monster, man. He's an absolute monster. He's a
Yeah.
speed demon.
He's
got
he's
a lot of
fast.
power, man. He's got a lot of power.
So how's the actual venue, man? Like their venue. Tell us a little bit about that.
The venue was really nice. A lot of different entrances from the back door, side door, front door. I mean, I was bringing in my stuff from everywhere, then taking it out from right outside the door, which was really easy to do. It was full packed. There was like a basketball court there, a workout side. It was everything. They had everything there. I mean, it was huge, packed full of different sections of the gym. So it's a really nice place to have somewhere, a setup like that. They could set up if they wanted to, 3, 4, 5 tables. The problem would be is that they need enough seating area. That's what it is. But it's within general, it's a really nice place. Nice venue. I would go back there and help them again too. I'm sure they're probably going to do something like that again there too again, which is really nice. But yeah, it's it's a gym. It's a gym, but it's a really nice gym, really big with a lot of different sport activities at the same time.
Awesome. We have our guest of honor, by the way, Jason Costantini of Table Monkeys. What's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
Did I say your name right? I know that there was a.
Close
Did
enough,
I say it
yeah.
right, Jason? Close enough. Okay, I'm horrible with names, man.
Oh, good.
We were just talking about an event that just happened in Jersey with Beast Mode Arm Wrestling. They had an event over the weekend. There's all these entities are popping up all over the Northeast. Having an event, and it's just a testament to the growth of the sport. And it's like a perfect time for all of us to kind of collaborate and work together. So, Jason was on our show a little while ago, several months back, talking about the No Elimination tournament, talking about what inspired him and his partner Alex, and shortly thereafter, all of a sudden, him and Ian Carnegie of MAC started collaborating, and they had the MAC 3 event. Stellar job on the MAC 3 event, man. Stellar job performing against Pork Chop, because I know you were chasing after that win. We had a previous conversation, so I was definitely rooting for you, and you showed up, man. You showed up.
Yeah, it was
That place blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a match of the night, hands down match of the night.
It was a lot
Hell
of
of a
fun.
performance. Yeah, I can't say anything else. It was like I said, match of the night. It was the greatest match I've seen in a long time. Especially, I love wars that are like that to the bitter end, when everybody's thinking it's against you, and you put everything on the table, and there was nothing that you had left, and that's what shows a lot of heart beyond anything else.
It's always good. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. The heart was a huge part of, for both of us, because the match went both ways. Like I took the first round and had a lot of energy, and then he, basically smashed me 2 rounds in a row, and then I was down 2 pins and 2 fouls when I turned that match around. So I didn't even really, I don't even know if I really realized it in the match. It was just like that was definitely the last moment I had, and then after that, his I don't know how I made it back to the table, but when I did, and he wasn't up yet, he was still sitting in his corner. That was the moment where I was like, okay, I can definitely I can definitely win this right now. And it was still like 3 or 4. I think there was 3 restarts. He got a foul. I got a foul. Maybe one of us got 2 fouls before I actually turned in and pressed him, which I've never done that. I don't even do it in practice. Like start with a press. Like I can press with my left, but I have to like top roll and then come in and get there. And I could just feel that it was there, and I don't know, in the moment enough. And yeah, just there was nothing else to lose, so just dove in on his arm, and it worked. But yeah, it was a good,
Yeah,
it was a
it did.
good match. It was a lot of fun, and the event, the whole event, like came out of nowhere for us too. So like you know, working on it with Ian and JJ. Once we got the Auden match, it really forced us to have to do a lot together, which ended up working really well together. So we're all excited to, you know, hopefully do a lot more stuff together. So
Nice.
It most certainly did. I mean, like, back to the match, I just wanted to say, like, how impressed I was. Like, if there was anybody had any doubts that you left it on the table, there's that picture of you sitting on the chair afterwards, like, looking like you were ready to KO. And I was floored by just being around that energy, man. So,
yeah,
you know, hats off
it
to
was,
you.
it was so funny because the round that happened was super tiring. And then I like screamed, you know, and like celebrated super hard after. And then when I got back to the corner, I was like so pumped about it. I screamed again, and something about that last scream in the corner, just like, that's what made me all like dizzy. And I was like, oh fuck, maybe that was too much. I still got to pull another fucking round. And yeah, and then I did. I definitely had a couple moments in that when Jerome came up and was like, yo, bust that ass again. That was like a little bit of energy I needed to like figure out how to stand back up and get back to the table. But
You got a shout out in the chat for you for your reffing, man. Yeah, reffing up at the MAC tournament you have a shout out for your reffing up at the MAC tournament up in Rochester.
Oh,
from Drew Rivers.
Thank you. Yeah. Reffing is always fun, and the MAC rules are fun to ref for sure. But yeah, it's what I was going to say there was just that's one of the things that I love about arm wrestling is that it is such a fight, and it's not just a show of strength or a lift. You know, like if we just wanted to see who was stronger, then we should just show up and lift a weight. But because it's a fight, that's what allows for that kind of like grit and grind and just finding a way to win, to be, you know, have a chance to flourish. And that's what makes the sport to me so cool, is that you can have such a fight, you know, and it comes down to so much more than just who's stronger.
No, there's a lot of technique there. A lot more stuff involved
and
than just
heart and like we said, and like, you know, and speed and intuition, and like there's so many different things in being in a fight. Then and that's what the more you can, to me, and the way I think about it, and the way we try to teach it at Table Monkeys, the more you can approach it as a fight and not think of it as like a lift or a show of strength. Like, yes, you have to be strong. Not strong is for sure the number one rule. Like if you saw our Instagram, we just put out that good idea, bad idea thing.
Yeah.
Devin's 3 rules, right? Rule number 1 is be strong, and that's sure. There's no question that is the most important part of arm wrestling, is being strong enough. But as we always say, once you're strong enough to be in the fight, it's all a fight, and the more you can master fight science and stuff, which is another thing I love. You know, fight science is a lot of fun.
It's chess, not checkers, right?
It is, yeah. It's chess, yeah. Figure out how to decode your opponent. So much of that. There's a guy in the club right now, and he's getting. I find a lot of guys get to this point at about a year and a half. He's getting to the point where he really knows how to do a couple moves. Like, he's got his move, and he can do it really well. And he's looking for like all the little secrets he needs to make his move invincible. So that's it. Like, he's got the perfect move, and he can't be beat. He's looking at John Brzenk, and he saw, you know, Brzenk does this grip. If you can see it from the camera, you can see it. You know, he does that, right? And we did a video about it, and we've talked about it, and the way I've understood it from people I've talked to about it is it's the best, really good way to control a top roller with a top roll, because you're basically trying to get fucking camera's fucking with me. You're trying to get this finger high and then put it on top of that one so that it's leaving, like, so you can still see the knuckle, right? That's one of the points of it, why it's like tricky, so that my knuckle in the setup, I'm really high on you, but you can totally see your knuckle. And then I can also use all three of these fingers like to create like pressure on one spot, which if I do it right is right on your top knuckle here. And then I can really control that top knuckle, which if you're a top roller, 90% of what you're doing is coming from that top knuckle. So if I can control it, I win the top roll and it's over. And he was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't say this at the time, but something I thought about after is the other thing about John Brzenk, if you've ever met him and shook his hand or heard about it, his thumb is like 3 thumbs.
Massive.
It's so big. So that grip is so dependent on having a huge, really strong thumb that's another thing. Unless you have a Brzenk thumb, the grip isn't that great. And I also explained to him, like, if there was some magic grip that just worked, like, he wouldn't be the only one that had it. Other people would have figured it out. Everybody else that you can think of that's a great arm wrestler has watched every Brzenk video over and over in slow motion, just like you have, to figure that out, you know? But anyway, the point of all that, I'm saying that, is he's getting to this point where he's like, oh, there's got to be some, like, secret. And it's like, no, the secret, and John's secret, was that he could decode anybody. He could grab your hand, and before you say go, he knows what you want to do and what he needs to do to beat it. And that's really what arm wrestling is about, is figuring out your opponents.
Absolutely. It's anticipating their motions and where they're going to go. And, you know, by reading their body language and seeing, okay, this is where he's setting up with his shoulder turned in. He's going to go inside a little bit. Or he's setting up to lean back a little bit, to pull back, you know, and understanding all those little ebbs and flows of it. It truly is an art form and, you know, a battle royale of the minds.
Yeah, and learning how to feel all that stuff even in the hand. I remember like about a year and a half in with Devin, and he was setting up with me, and I didn't understand at the time. It wasn't until a lot later that I understood kind of what he was doing when he was doing this. But he was like, we were just straight in the center in the setup before the go, and he was like, I'm King's moving, I'm hooking, I'm top rolling. And like, now I can do it to somebody and do the same thing, where I'm making like the most minor little changes in the pressure in my hand, but that's telling you like that if you feel pressure here, he's hooking. If you feel pressure here, he's top rolling. If you feel pressure here, he's that, you know. And
he's gonna press. Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you can start fucking with people too. Like Mike Gould, one of the things I had to figure out, he did to me the first few times we pull, and I get in the strap, or I get him, and feel like I'm way stronger. I can definitely beat him. And then he would just do something to me in the setup, and I would totally have like a brain fart before the go, and then he would just smash me. And he would do it all the time. And what he would do is he would make it feel like this lane was wide open. So in the setup, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to fucking do that. It's going to feel so good. And then right on ready, he would go from being like this to all of a sudden just like that little bit of tighten, where he's not going to get called for going early or anything, but all of a sudden he would just tighten that lane up, and right where I thought I was going to go, all of a sudden got like, I could feel him just put the brakes on it right before the go. So then I'm like, you know, and right as I go, he goes smash. And I'm like, I didn't even pull, like, fucking asshole. And then he walks, I was not, you fucking nothing, Jay. And it took me a while to figure it out, but that little goof that you can do to people, it's a fight where you're like, nope, I'm going to go that way. You know, you think I'm going to hit you here, and then the left. And yeah, anyway, I could talk about that part forever. I love that part of arm wrestling.
As can I, man. It's, you know, people, my son actually, I was just at the pizzeria picking up dinner for us. And I was like, yeah, I may have recruited the pizzeria owner to come join in the arm wrestling world. And my son goes, is it not anybody you just don't start talking arm wrestling? You know, it's like, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. Have you had an opportunity to grip up with somebody?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. But it is like you said in the beginning, starting off, the sport is growing like crazy. Like, there's no question about it. It's getting noticed on a totally different level than it was, you know, even when I first started 5 years ago. Like, it's crazy how much it's growing, and just to see the size of the crowds at the East versus Wests. The last few of them have been nuts, and then the size of the crowd and the response that we got at Mac 3 TAWF was awesome. So it's definitely starting to get more and more recognition.
More traction at that too, because we got the Challenger Series, the Mac Challenger Series coming up. You got that Montreal versus Toronto as well in the works. I mean, we got a lot of things happening, simultaneously, and it's like, where do I follow? All of it if you can.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Pick and choose at this point.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? There's definitely still like a lot of people trying to make their mark, but at the same time, because it's growing, it's like all ship, like rising tides rise all ships or whatever. Like we all get a bit of it as it's going up. Like East First West makes a big impact, and a whole bunch more people know about arm wrestling because of that. And then it's the same. Like when you first started watching arm wrestling on YouTube, the same as I did. I'm sure you just started looking for as much as you could find, and in that beginning, you're like, it didn't take long in the beginning to find a lot, like most of what was like the popular videos. You had to start digging pretty quick. Where now I feel like there's just so much. It's so much more saturated, and the quality is getting a lot better too. So,
Right. Just take a moment. I wanted to say shout out to a couple of more guys that are in the chat. We got, as I said before, Drew Rivers. What's up, man? Tyler Edelin is in the chat. What's up, man? Sergio is in the chat. Yes, I am real, and it's not AI. I am a real human sitting here. Good job on your Beast Mode event. I heard that it was a lot of good energy there. So looking forward to the next one. I'll definitely be at the next one you guys have. And we got Bill Stinks in the chat. What's up, man? Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, shout out to everybody, man, for everybody being here. Tyler, everybody. I'll have Drew Rivers at the house so he can come to your tournament.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to Sergio. I was there helping him out and announcing. That was a great. It was their first one. It was in like I said, it was like a gym setting, which was really nice. Everything was really looked good. It was huge. I'm saying like I said, they could put a lot more tables in there too. It's a comfortable setting. And like I said, they had a lot of doors everywhere. So you can come inside, side door, back door, front door. I'm saying all over the place. So it was just easy to come in and out of the place. Nice job, everybody, honestly. And me and Sergio.
Yeah, the next one is going to be at a strip club, Battle at Betty's.
Yes. Yep.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
July 19th, I think.
Yep, July 19th. So I'm looking forward to that. But before that event happens, we do have the Summer Kickoff event that's going to be a no elimination tournament. And this is a big nod to Table Monkeys because their format, no elimination, piqued my interest to the point where I was thinking about going up to Canada to experience it myself. And then I get an invite to be on the Mac card as well. So I was like, oh, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to experience this. And it was everything I thought it was going to be and more, because I arm wrestled everybody. And I started to evolve as I arm wrestled and did better as I progressed. And it was a lot of fun. It was really, really a lot of fun. But because of it being so jam-packed with people and high energy, I know that we didn't run the no elimination as we normally would have with the full-on point system. So with that being said, one of the things I wanna give you the floor, Jason, to talk about is how the point system works, how the no elimination is supposed to run out and pan out.
So I mean, as you said, so the event, as fast as things do run, it was so busy and it was as successful as it was, it ended up taking things ended up dragging on and taking longer than we had hoped and or had planned for, I guess, and also the tournament was really busy, so it became a little bit hectic to try to manage everything with the point system. So we just basically did the round robin on a win-loss, which one of the issues with a win-loss is that you can wind up with ties, like not that often, but they definitely do happen enough. And we had that happen a few times. And in the ties, in single win situation, like in a win-loss situation, you just usually, if you're fortunate enough where the two people that are tied have pulled each other, then one of them beat the other. So whoever beat the other during the regular tournament obviously wins between the two of them, even though they have the same record. But with the foul system or with the point system, the way it works is that if you, like, the cleaner your wins are or the more dominant your wins are, so if your opponent has to foul or fouls in the match, you get an extra point. And if you foul, you lose a point. So a regular win would be 5 points, and then it's a 3-foul system. So if you foul once and then you get the win, you get 4 points. If your opponent fouls once and you get the win, then you get 6 points. And only the winner scores points. So same as win-loss, where it'd be like 1 win, 1 win. But with the point system, it makes the fouls have a little more meaning, and also it allows for a little more strategy, because you can, as you're getting closer to the end, if you're close with somebody, you might know, oh, if I can hold this guy and get him to foul, I get an extra point. That's what I need to win. And then the other way to get an extra point is a flash pin. So if a pin is within a half second of the go, which we're usually leave at the discretion of the head ref, it basically has to appear like there's no resistance, like what I was describing Mike Gould did to me. And in that situation, you get an extra point. So then with the no elimination, with the round robin setting, it makes it a little bit more interesting. We also were a little too busy to set it up, but we had hoped to have the actual scores, like scoreboard that we were running, up on the projector. So that's always helpful too, if you just have like a screen next to your laptop, so that you can put the actual grid that you're working off of up, so people can see it, because then they can see when their match is coming. They can see where they're scored, like, oh, I've got 26 points and he's got 28 points, and so if I can get an extra point this round or whatever, like, it just
then you stand ahead.
Engaging. Yeah, just makes it a little more engaging. But yeah, it was also the setting there, because there was not just so many people competing, but so many people in the room, and everybody had such an instinct to crowd around the tables. It was just so crowded around the tables itself that it was definitely a little hectic to run. A little more.
Yeah.
We had.
Oh yeah, it was intense, because I knowing when you're up, you want to stand as close to the table as you could to know when you're ready to go, because I know some people missed their rounds because they were on the other side of the room, and because just the sheer crowd was pushing them there, and they couldn't make it to the table enough. It's like, hey, I was here the whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, you couldn't make it to the table enough.
Yeah. I mean, not things like that, not necessarily ideal, but for a good reason, in the sense that it was so busy. So it's like good problems to have. But
no, it was crowded. It was packed. There was a lot of people, and that's a good problem to have, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to being, hosting the first one that's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Now, I was talking to Alex and talking to you about this, I think, the last time. If there's more than 8 people in a class, what do we do?
Yeah, so that's what happened to a lot of the classes at our event, was you just end up splitting it into 2 groups, because if you have more than 8 people doing a round robin, it becomes way too many matches, and then it just gets crazy. But by splitting it up, so let's say you have 12 people in a weight class, you split it to 2 groups of 6. So each group will run their round robin, and the top 2 guys, like the number 1 from each group, will face off for first and second, and the number 2 from each group will face off for the 3rd place. And then we usually do it that they just face off in a best of 3, and we do it at the end. So you run like all the right hand, and then the finals, and then run all the left hand, and then run the finals. Or you can run all left, all right, and then finals at the end. I mean, it depends on how you want to do it. But we would do the finals at the end of the whole class. Like we wouldn't run it down to the final and then run the finals. Then we would give them a rest, and then they have the super match.
Gotcha. That's going to make it super exciting, I think. I feel like that, this format with the MAC tables, as I experienced it myself with the MAC rule set, it's going to be a super fast event. You
and
know,
you get a lot of battles. Like there were a
Yeah.
lot of good matches, a lot of good wars and stuff that happened in
Yeah.
the tournament. And even in I know the team event that we had wasn't super competitive, unfortunately. Like New York had a couple guys that they were missing, and Toronto and Ontario was, pretty stacked. So it ended up being a little more uneven than we had hoped. But there was still some really, really like great matches throughout that game, and a lot of that, I think, a lot of that has to do with the MAC table and the rule set. The fact that the matches get started makes things move quickly, but once the matches get started, because people have room to move, again, if they're at all close, it allows for a real good fight, and that's always exciting to watch. So. Yeah, it was awesome to see at that high a clip of matches, to see the MAC tables under that kind of pressure, I guess. and they performed well. So
speaking of MAC, next tournament, super match series that I have, I'm still deciding to see if it's going to be a MAC super match series. So using those tables, or be a regular, depending on getting the tables and getting the refs and everything else, because in general you have to have everybody and everything there. But yeah, that's still undecided yet. I got the venue for June 28th, which is going to be New York Smoke Super Match Series, which that's really which I'm deciding to have as a MAC rules, MAC tables, MAC refs, and everything else. So.
And where is that? Where is it?
That's going to be in New York, Peekskill, New York, at the Dramatic Hall.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you check out his Facebook, in the next couple of podcasts, I'll definitely be bringing that a link to that one up. So just want to announce a couple of other things in regards to this upcoming tournament. So first and foremost, I know some people have noticed that the entry fee for this tournament is actually a little lower than most, and it's because I actually know the traffic to Long Island sucks, tolls suck. And I want to pretty much say, thank you for coming out to us and taking the travel to us, and lower the entry fees and give you guys a little bit of a discount at $20 for the amateurs and $25 for the pros. Pull as many classes as you want, arm wrestle as much as you want. We are hoping to see each and every person in the area to come through. And I have in the also in the event page, I do have the host hotel's booking link, which they've just recently discounted it now to $229 per night instead of the $289. I know that was a bit pricey for everybody. So I was able to,
nice.
strangle them a little bit and get them to bring the price down.
And Jason, you're going to be there too, right? You're going to be reffing and stuff?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. I'm going to come in on we were debating whether we're going to come in really late on Thursday but we're probably going to come in super early on Friday, and then hang out in Long Island on Friday, and then be there all day for the tournament, ref and after pull and so on. I won't be able to pull with my left arm because I got a match with BLM the next weekend, so I'll have to keep that one in a
Rash
sling or something.
in the cooler.
Like, it's hard when you go to a tournament, man. It's like, to not want to avoid pulling at all is like, I'll have to make sure my right is like super, super fresh so that I can just pull everybody right-handed and keep them away from the left arm because I need it to be fresh for BLM. But yeah, I'll be there and excited to help you guys run it and help with reffing and see how people react to the no elimination format. And excited to meet a whole bunch of people because it's always nice to go to a new area and meet all the new pullers and stuff. Because again, like we're saying, the sport is growing so much that.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't know if I told you this last time. A lot of the guys we train with are diehard fans of Table Monkeys. So you're a bit of a celebrity on the island and my training crew. So when I told a couple of them, like for instance, like Jason, one of our training partners named Jason, he met arm wrestling through the barbecue and summer kickoff events. That he's like, I actually know of the little thing too because I watched Jason Costantini from the Table Monkeys. It's like, oh, really? Okay, cool. And when I told him you were coming, he was like, no way. He definitely had a little bit of stardom
that's
there.
pretty cool. It's such a trip when I go to a tournament and somebody that I have no idea who they are comes up and says, I watch your stuff. Thank you so much and whatever. It's obviously like super rewarding and everything, but it is always a little bit trippy, and in a good way. So I appreciate it, and I'm glad that people get value out of it. A lot of the time when Alex and I make stuff, it's like it's genuinely just coming from us liking to work out the ideas and the concepts and thinking about it for ourselves. And a lot of the stuff that we present is stuff that we have implemented ourselves and are working on that we found helpful. And one of the things that we both noticed when we first came into the sport was how underground and how without trying to sound like pretentious or anything, with how unorganized it was. Like there was no like, this is how you do this is how you do that. It was like everybody had their different way. It was like I was trying to find, like, there's got to be a way to take a grip and a way to do this and a way, and like the standard, like the way that, like, how you shoot a basketball, you pull your elbow in, you like a 3-point stance. Like every sport has like a structure. This is how you get into your football stance. This is how you tackle. This is like how you throw a punch. This is how you kick. Like everything has that. But I just could not fucking find it for arm wrestling, and it took so long to figure out, like, what is a top roll, what is a hook, what is a king's move, like what are all these things that everybody is talking about as I'm watching all these videos. And so that's been always a big goal of ours, is to try to structure it and structure the way that we try to teach it and give it as like make it as accessible as possible to get from the I don't know anything about arm wrestling to I understand a top roll, a hook, outside, inside, like just at least that much of it. And I feel like we've been somewhat successful because that's the kind of feedback we get. So I appreciate that.
Well, and to that point, I just want to say, for accessibility, one of the things that, after talking to Steve and talking to Dan, other, event directors, I am going to be offering a no fee entry for the kids and women's division. We are going to be bringing them in at no charge. We want this to be a family style event, right? We want everyone to get involved and make it accessible, because that's what brings the crowds, I think, if you make it available to the masses and the entire family. I got custom awards made for the women's division that I wanted to show off to everybody. You're looking at the screen. It's going to be about a 13-inch tall plaque by I think it's 6 or 7 inches wide for the pros. And then the amateurs are going to be a little bit of a medallion that's going to be about a 7-inch medallion, similar structure to this. And I'm excited because they're all going to be custom made by a local guy, TJ, and his wife Christina, down in South Carolina. They do custom awards, and they're also tournament directors themselves, as well as an arm wrestlers. So keeping it in the organization of arm wrestling, I'm happy to help, build up other entities within the sport. And that's one of the exciting things when I was looking to do something a little different than I had done in previous years.
Yeah. Well, those awards look really nice. And the free entries is, we had so many women enter the tournament at MAC, and I know it's because we had a lot of people there as well, but like usually there's like 3 girls total, and we had like 4 or 5 girls in every class. And like when I was going through the thing and saw there was 145, 165, and 165 plus, I was like, that's pretty
great.
Cool. Yeah. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that we didn't charge for females, like for women entries to the tournament, which we're not going to do. Like, we're going to keep that as a thing that we do when we do our no elimination. So I'm glad that you're doing it as well, because it's like I want to get more women involved. Like even with the team thing, the first team thing I did, I had women on the team, and I was only able to get one woman on each side. And though it was nice that there was a woman on each team, it ended up not working out great in the sense that their matches got kind of boring by the end because it was just the two of them. It wasn't enough variety. And so for the one I'm doing, Toronto versus Montreal, it's just the men's classes from that basic same format. So light, medium, heavy, super, but all men's. And pretty quickly to announcing it, some people were asking, "Oh, what about the women's classes and stuff?" And I'm going to figure out some sort of a prelim thing to do with a women's setup. I'm not exactly sure how I want it to be because I don't want to just do a super matches and I don't want to just do a round robin because the tournament is round robin and super matches is max. So I want to keep it as separate from that as possible.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I said, yeah, I agree.
I have an idea of another way to do that. Like the team thing can be done in so many different ways. So I have another quick little format that I'm thinking where it could be like 3 super matches basically, but then done like one round alternating, like so first super match, first round, second super match, second round, and the 3 girls are like 3 Toronto, 3 Montreal, so that it's like their points can still be added up and we can still have a little mini team thing and only girls first. But anyway, I'm going to come up with something interesting, even if it's just even if it ends up being just a super match thing, but I'm going to try to avoid that for obvious reasons because I'm trying to be a little different with the TAWF thing. I see John McAlpine just asked. So the Montreal Toronto is October 11th in Toronto. It's at Henderson's Brewery, so the same venue that we had the Mac 3 TAWF event.
Nice.
Okay, nice. Yeah, nice event. Nice place. Yeah.
Yeah, the venue's awesome. They really, really liked it. They're a very local place too. Like they have a very strong following from a lot of the people that live around there. There's a lot of condos around there, so there's a good amount of local foot traffic, and they all really liked it. So I'm trying to plan another one to do for then, and trying to make sure to plan it a lot further ahead than we did the last one, and also really organize it so that I can get the teams as competitive as possible. And because we've got the time to do it, I'm going to be doing it. Like I'm going to be announcing a lot of stuff, and at the June 14th event when I pull BLM, and I'll probably have most of it ready so I can talk to people about it and announce it at June 7th as well. Sorry, where was I going with that? The Toronto is October.
October, yeah.
Somebody's asking
there's a lot going on.
in Montreal. Somebody's asking when is Toronto and Montreal?
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's October 11th, and making competitive. That's what I was trying to get to is the draft. So at June 14th, and basically that'll be the last time to sign up if anybody wants to be like in the draft between these two teams. But the idea that we're going to do is I'm basically been putting out a lot of invitations to the best guys I can think of throughout Ontario. I haven't got the manager for the Montreal team completely locked in yet, so I haven't reached out to a lot of Montreal guys yet. But the idea is to get as many athletes as I can from Quebec and Ontario and all around that want to be in the draft for both teams. And then as long, like Montreal can't draft somebody that lives within 100 miles of Toronto, and Toronto can't draft somebody that lives within 100 miles of Montreal. But other than that, everybody around is open ground. You know what I mean? So then we're going to get a draft pool of the best guys I can, probably going to cap it at around 40, because each team is only like 8 guys and possibly 2 reserves. And then have a draft at the end of August, so about a month and a half, like about 6 weeks before the actual event, with the 2 managers, like do like a Zoom call, live stream, and then I'll have like a little website set up for them where they can see the draft pool and who is available and then who they can pick. and then just kind of build the hype of them building up the two teams. But by doing it that way, having the best guys I can in the first pool, by the time they pick their two teams, they should be like as competitive as you can possibly imagine for the guys in this region. And then it's just also to build up the hype and everything. And, the whole team thing, the idea is really that people are going to get behind their region. And as soon as just even announcing it and putting up the poster with the two logos and everything, just that on its own, and it already started to have that effect, so.
Of course, because people like you and I spoke about this. People have pride over the neighborhood that they're from, so they're going to want to support it.
Yeah. And it's something that separates like the individual sports like boxing and UFC and even tennis or golf from sports like football, basketball, baseball. And as big as those individual sports are, they're never going to be as big as those team sports. So again, in a way to try to make arm wrestling more approachable and bigger, if we can figure out a way to make it like more like those team sports, just to get people to watch it. Like super matches are never going to go away. Super matches are always going to be the best way to tell who's the best between two people. There's never going to be a better way to do that. And the more you get interest in the sport, just in general, the more stars will start to arise, and the more stars you have, the more valuable super matches you'll end up having, right? So
exactly.
The team to me, the team thing isn't a way to replace super matches. It's a way to help feed the super matches, because I think it's a way to really fuel the sport.
Bring more people in. People can actually say, "Oh, I can get a bunch of guys, and I know how strong they are," and they come in.
A pathway of aggression that happens. It's sensible. I like it. I love it, and I love that we're a part of it. With that being said, for the team style environment, I did want to go back a little bit. We're throwing a little bit more fuel to the fire for the summer kickoff event for the no elimination tournament, because as you know, there's going to be a point system, right? Now, as an individual, you're going to be gaining bragging rights for having the most points at the end of the day, right? But now we're going to bring the whole entire squad that you train with in on that. We're launching a little bit of a team competition. It's going to be, if you show up, like I know some guys from Weak Wrist Arm Wrestling are showing up, and some guys from Beast Mode are going to probably show up. And in the pro divisions, if you rack up the most points as a team, you go home victor as the team champion. I have a custom prize that I'm designing that I will release the next day or two. But it's pretty much every point that you win racks up points for your entire team, and the entire team will get that bragging rights, and you get to bring home that award
That's awesome.
that year. So that's something you can hang up in your clubhouse type of deal. And it's not just about being strong; it's about being a team and working together. So this is going to be kind of like segueing into what you guys are doing with TAWF and repping your crew, your neighborhood, and backing each other up at the table. So like in between matches, you're going to be in each other's corners, helping each other, coaching each other, and create that team style environment that we're always looking forward to.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I love, again, about the sport, which is why I like what kind of drove the idea of the team format, is the idea that as like you can get really good at this, or really strong, or you can learn a lot about this sport on your own just with equipment, and you can do a lot of training at home just with handles and everything. But if you actually want to like learn how to arm wrestle and get good at arm wrestling, you have to arm wrestle with at least one other person. And the more people you can arm wrestle with, the better you're going to be, because every time you arm wrestle somebody different, you learn something different. And it was just realizing that really early on, that like that team aspect of it is so important, because it's even more so than like actual fighting. Like actual fighting, if you get so dialed in at throwing your punches and throwing your kicks, you can almost, you can't completely avoid sparring, but you can become really deadly without having to spar with that many other people. Whereas with arm wrestling, like if you do not arm wrestle somebody, you get so like that is where all the ring rust, you know, and even guys that arm wrestle that were really good at arm wrestling and then they haven't in a long time and they jump back in, it still takes a few like getting back in the motion to actually get the feel back for it, because there's so many little minor things, like it's such like, you know, millimeters and micro adjustments and everything that make all these huge differences in arm wrestling, which is why it's also really hard to observe, because when you don't really understand what's going on, you don't notice that, like, oh, this is carving and this is rolling. Like that seems so minuscule, but to us, we can tell like this is, oh fuck, he's coming in. This is
that micro adjustment could change the entire outcome of the match. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as a spectator, you don't even notice the difference. Whereas somebody who does is like, oh shit, like they can see something about to happen. Don't forget, you know, I compare it to UFC a lot. Like when the first time that somebody passed somebody's guard and the crowd cheered in the UFC, like that was when they had like they knew the crowd had leveled up and now they were at a new stage of understanding. Like that's what we're waiting for in arm wrestling, is to get to the point where average people can look at a grip or look at a start and get excited over like somebody won their riser, you know, not a pin. And we're a long way from that now, but that's the same kind of analogy. Like it's going to take time, but it can definitely happen.
Well, you know, my number one thing that I love about this whole thing is that it's when the team environment, you truly are collaborating with each other. You're finding out where your weaknesses are, where someone else's strengths are, and you're literally just meshing them together to build a stronger version of you as an individual and as well as a team. So this is exactly why. If Iowa High Hookers were coming as a team, they would be very strong, and that would be unfair. Okay, I'll give you that. It would be unfair, but I think we can possibly give you a couple of matches over there, Ottawa. But it's just how the pathway progression works. So, you know, if we notice, we got all these different walks of life right here on the screen who have completely different backgrounds in their lives. Yet we're coming together on something and building something a lot more stronger than we could do on an individual basis, right? You know, it makes it easier and more fun too.
Yeah, no, that's
Steve,
cool.
Dan, what do you got? What do you got to say, Steve? Dan, we're taking over the whole conversation.
Nothing. I'm pretty much waiting. I have so many different tournaments to go to and announce, and I'm just thinking about this new one that's going to be happening. I wish it was in New York, you know, so I'd be able to go.
Oh, the Canada, yeah, I can't wait for that too.
You know, so it kind of sucks because I'm not allowed in Canada, but I'd definitely go. I go to anything that's Ian Carnegie or, you know, JJ Jackson, or even, you know, Jason, that, you know, he's involved with them and stuff, you know, whatever has to do with it. Obviously, I always want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to happen the week after that.
Yeah, I got a match on that card.
Nice. So everybody who's watching, check out the Major Armwrestling Championship Facebook page. They're talking a little more about it. Dan, who are you facing? Do you even know your guy?
Yeah, a gentleman named Steve Lentien, I think is how you would say it up for the people up in Canada. He's got 9 years in. We're going right hand, cap 250. And he's never pulled on a MAC table. So I said, well, try and get on one if you can. So we'll have that advantage at least.
I'd hate to say it, but he's going to demolish you.
You got 9 years, bro?
Let's see.
I didn't know.
It's all right.
I have the whole list. I looked up a couple of guys. I looked up your guy. Dan, like I said before, bro, you need more.
That's all right. You got to start somewhere, man.
I know. It's just going up against somebody that's 9 years in is just like.
But listen.
Dan's going to learn. That's all it is. Dan's going to learn. We shall see.
This is true. Dan is going to learn. I just hope you don't get
learn a lot more from
I won't get hurt.
Loss than a win, that's for sure. So
Yeah, he hasn't been pulling for that long. How long have you been pulling for, Dan? 9 months?
Just just under a year.
That's what I'm saying. You know, a guy that's got 9 years experience and 9 months experience.
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but I pull in Masters, so come on.
It doesn't fucking matter, my friend.
Let's just see. We'll see.
Either way, I mean, it's good for you for trying and for going after it and for feeling and you got to go into it confident. Again, it's like
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, do you know what's his style or what's your style and where's the?
Yeah, I know my style. I just have to look into him, but he seems like a nice guy. So we talked, and he said train hard. I told him the same thing, and I'll see him there.
Yeah.
All right. So from what I'm hearing, because I train with Dan, Dan, you're going to be under my boot camp regimen
Yes.
for the next couple of weeks because I'm going to have to whoop your ass and shit big time.
Oh yeah. I got some stuff up my sleeve, so don't you worry.
Very good.
Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about the event and how it's going to be an amazing event, our event, and that whole event is going to be awesome. Jay, you're pulling in like the main event, right?
Yeah, me and I'm pulling BLN, so I've never pulled in a match before. So, and I'm in the process of I'm down like 25 pounds, trying to take another 20. So,
Oh wow.
I'll be like a weight class down than I'm normal to, or than I'm used to. So we'll see how that. I feel good right now in practice. I mean, I'm a little beat up and I feel a little depleted, so I'm not that strong. But I'll have a month of normalizing my weight before the match. So, and I don't have to. We didn't agree to like a weight cap or anything, so I don't have to make a weight cut. But just for myself, I'm trying to get down around 260 pounds for just for health and
Hell yeah.
everything. But yeah, I'm excited to pull him. It's going to be a lot different than Porky, I think. I mean, stylistically.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, and it's a little earlier than I was planning to take a match from doing this, like from dieting and stuff. But opportunity presented itself. I thought it was a good one, and he accepted. So might as well. I'm gonna definitely give it my best and just put together a quick little kind of game plan for him. I'm still like he's been off for a while and he's so versatile. It's different. Like Porky had a very distinct way that he pulls. So I knew what I needed to do to beat him. I didn't think deep enough into the prep for Porky. Like I should have thought more about him, about his like Todzilla side pressure move. I was more just trying to focus on stopping his like dragging cup, which I did in round one, totally mitigated that. And then that's when he was like, okay, forget, I'll just do this. To which I mean, that's what forced me to King's move so much. So if I had a plan for that a little more, like maybe I would have had a different, I don't know how I would have dealt with it much better, but that move kind of forces me there, which is why we made the video after, like everybody hates on the King's move, but I'm like, he's literally got no hand, no, like he's totally break arm position. Like, why is that better than me being like this? Like, we're both just like, fuck, I'm just trying to win. Like it's the same thing, just opposite side of the hill. Right. So, but anyway, but Brendan is much more versatile than, much more technical than Porky. I feel like our strengths are going to be very even. If anything, maybe I probably have the edge shoulder. He'll probably have the edge hand. Like it'll be but it'll be very, very close. I think strength wise. And so I'm excited for that because I'm excited for the chess match. I was kind of going through it, and for left-handed super matches, I haven't lost a left-handed super match in like a really long time. Like I'd have to look back to see when the last one, but the last like serious ones that I have had were like if you start with Jeff Dave, I beat Jeff, and then I beat Nathan Lalonde in the MAC, then Doug Allen. And before that was before Doug was what's his name? Sean Crawford.
Dunk out the air.
Yeah, and then Porky. So I haven't lost a left-handed super match in a while, so I don't really want to lose to Brendan either. Obviously,
Got some motivation. Stay on top, man.
I didn't
Stay
realize
on
I was on
top.
a streak, but once I realized I was on a streak, I'm like, nah, yeah, I got to keep this streak.
Yeah.
Like I know, and Brendan is trying to come back, and he just lost his first comeback match to Ole, so I know he really wants this win. So, and I like Brendan a lot, and I but I'm gonna have to slow his return down yet again a little bit because.
There you go. I love the motivation. I love it. So
Yeah.
we actually got a good question from the chat. John McAfee asked, old school arm wrestlers versus new school arm wrestlers, who wins?
Well, I mean, I think if you're just going based on experience, then the old school arm wrestler for sure should usually beat the new school guys. But as far as like the style of arm wrestling, I mean, I don't know how to
answer that, to be honest. What constitutes old school versus new school?
I don't know.
What's the category?
I don't know if there's a new school style of arm wrestling so much yet. I mean,
yeah.
I know there's a different styles within, I would say, countries. Like if you go to Bulgaria or go to, you know what I mean? They hit differently. You know, we catch.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No. And, and even just club to club, like some clubs drag really hard, some clubs pull outside really hard, some clubs all post really well. Like like there's and yeah, definitely in Europe, like the way they no load and hit is totally different than how North Americans do it. So there's a lot of different styles there, but yeah, new school and old school, I don't know if there's much of a difference there.
Yeah, with that said, Bill Sinks, Dan, can you bring up the comment that he had? Read his comment. He was talking about how it's changed in 35 years for the better.
And how,
I just wanted to comment on what Jason said earlier. It's unbelievable how much this sport has grown. I remember when I first started, it was definitely a small community of arm wrestlers. And for a long time, it was mostly the same guys at the same tournaments in the same areas. Now it's exponentially larger and about to explode if it hasn't already. It's just unbelievable. I'm so excited for this sport, even though I'm at 35 plus years and still training weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It is. It's growing like crazy, and that is the big, like even us in Toronto, like at Table Monkeys, because we're in a city, we have like so much rotation. Like there's probably about 10 or 15 guys that are solid that are there almost every week. But then there's always like more than 20 guys at practice. There's
okay.
Plus. But there's so many that are new all the time. Like almost every week there's every week there's a new guy. Almost every week there's like 2 or 3 new guys. Like never come before, first time just trying. Yeah, I was online, I saw your website. Which is just crazy, like to have that much rotation coming through the club.
Absolutely. We got 3 new guys this last month ourselves. So it's growing.
It's crazy. Like when we first started, I know it was during COVID, but I mean, even the first summer when we even just would have been 2.5, almost 3 years ago, when we were at the gym. It was like, once a month, maybe a couple times a month, we'd have a new person come. Now it's multiple times every practice. It's crazy.
That's incredible. I mean, when I first started, I started in September of 2020, so it's just post-COVID. As soon as it opened up, Arm Bet was a big push. We had like new guys, 2 or 3 new guys every week, and then it kind of trickled down for a little while. No one used Arm Bet anymore, and then people would find you on Facebook or Instagram, getting messages. I got recently, actually, this is one of the coolest things, actually. I had somebody's mother call me. This kid is 18 years old. The kid is strong as all hell, too.
Yeah.
His mother calls me, leaves a voice message saying, hey, my son is really interested in arm wrestling. He begged us to get him an arm wrestling table for Christmas. And we have no idea what this sport's all about. But when I Googled it, or, your name came up locally, And so I found your number somehow. And I was like, how the hell did she get my freaking phone number? And I started talking to the son. He's a former lacrosse player.
Oh, lacrosse, really? Well, that's good. Lacrosse will be good, man. His wrist will be good.
Wrist. Yeah, his wrists are really strong.
Yep. Lacrosse and hockey carry over so well for some, like, and they're both physical.
They got a cradle. They got to bend their wrist.
They got to bend their wrist. They're cradling. Yeah.
Like, you know, and so they like the idea of throwing their body at each other. Yeah, that's awesome.
So he loves it. The kid is completely, you know, he's thrown himself into it. He hasn't missed a practice yet. And
well, you know,
I mean, he's 18.
Do you know who Iti is? Iti Manchada on our. She's the girl. She's got a match coming up. She's the Indian girl on our team. Okay. She won the Asian, the Asian championship in India. She won nationals. Like, I think she won two or three golds at nationals.
What's her weight?
What's that?
What's her weight?
I think she's 145, 150. She's only 15 though. Okay. Like, she's ridiculous. But it's a similar story. Her mom called, or her mom messaged me on Facebook and like, hey, is anybody allowed to go to this tournament? Like, my daughter really wants to try. Da, 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 da. And then she showed up at one of the first no elimination tournaments that we had, and did amazing. Got second place, and she's and she's just been with us ever since, and she's an absolute killer. Her dad is like totally supportive. He pays for training from Giannis, so she gets like weekly check-ins and a full plan from Giannis, and she trains with us every week. She trains with other clubs, and she's an animal. You're going to see her at the. Are both Dan's? Are both you guys going to be there? I know that you.
No, I'm not going to make it up there, unfortunately.
Well,
I'm not allowed in Canada, or else I'd be there.
Kind of crazy. We let anybody in. It's ridiculous.
Except for Steve.
Yeah.
Steve's a special case.
Yeah. It sucks.
In more ways than one.
But yeah, anyway, she's a killer, but it's the same story. They just reached out like, I don't know anything about this, but it appears that you guys are the people to talk to. So like, can our daughter, and then Leo too. I mean, he comes with his dad his dad always comes with him, but same thing. Like, he started with us when he was 13, and it's just so cool to have guys like that and you know, kids like that on your
it's like that's like the Tupper family, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah. And Dan.
They're beasts, man.
They're absolute monsters. So I just recently got fitted for a suit for my best friend's wedding that's happening next month, and the guys, they do custom suits, and they're like, you know, your arms, you look pretty jacked, but one side's bigger than the other. And I was telling them, I'm a professional arm wrestler. And they said, whoa, you are? We've been hearing about it and seeing YouTube videos. How can we get involved? So they might be actually at the summer kickoff event.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, you know, if we ever want somebody who needs a, you know, good suit, you know, Mr. Debonair out of Astoria, Queens, they're going to be possibly over there showing up.
Crazy, man. It's just growing like crazy. Even at work, like, I'm at work and people, like, I've had at least 3 or 4 times where somebody will be come in the shop and be like, "Oh, you're Jason from Table Monkeys." I'm like, "How the fuck? What are you?" You know, like, weird.
How do you know this?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
how is it that
big? Where you're here to buy. You work in a kitchen. You're here to buy kitchen equipment. And they're like,
yeah.
Anyway. Jason, man, I'm excited to bring you to have you come down with us, and you know, have introduced you to our community. With JJ, Ian, Puerto Rican guys are going to be there too. You're going to get to meet some Puerto Ricans.
Nice.
Which they're going to want to they're going to be in your ear to bring you down as well, because they're very interested in the no elimination format with Table Monkeys, with MAC tables and MAC rules. They want to see all that come down, because I got to tell you, Puerto Ricans love Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll probably be one and the same soon enough. Fuck. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm glad that we can make the trip, make it work. And I grew up in like about 45 minutes outside of Albany,
Okay.
on the edge of Massachusetts. Um, so like I know like it's kind of like a trip, not home, but like back there anyway. So
Back to the
I'm excited
roots.
for it. Yeah, back to the roots a little bit. So I'm looking
That's
forward to it
fair.
a lot.
Well, anybody who's in the chat, anybody else that's on screen, have any other questions for each other, please feel free to go ahead and ask them.
Yeah. Everybody get your teams ready if you're coming down to the tournament. So that way you
Yeah.
can experience the team aspect, because there's going to be a lot of thing like Jason was saying, there's going to be a lot of team aspects, especially on Long Island, since we have the people that want to arm wrestle, and we have the area, and we have the city around us, and New Jersey.
Yeah.
So
At
and
beaches as
tri-state
well.
and tri-state. So we
Yeah.
can have a nice little tournament there.
Yeah, man.
Every and Jason can show it off, which I've already been a part of, which is awesome. The speed, and that's where Grimaldi showed himself, and Grimaldi was a beast there.
Yeah, he crushed
And
He
yeah,
killed it. He was an absolute monster. Oh,
and
Drew, you gotta drag the whole team, man. Just stuck them in your car.
yeah,
How far away are they?
their ways.
Well, where are they, Steve?
They're
Like 5 hours away from where you're going to be, or 6 hours away from you.
six and a half hours.
Yeah, because they're normally from me, I think they're about 4.5, 5, or something like that.
Okay. Do you know where they're from? What town? Hey, Drew, what town are you from? What part of New York are you in?
They're past
yeah.
Syracuse.
They're past Syracuse. Okay.
6
6 hours
hours.
away.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, anybody who's watching, anybody who's going to watch, link up with each other, carpool with each other, become friends because of this sport, so we can actually sit here and watch it grow. Because this is how we're going to keep it growing, man. If we can show up, in full force. Oh, they're from Syracuse. Gotcha.
Yeah.
If you guys can show up in full force with each other, I mean, I will tell you this much. I know the weekend after, while you got the Challenger Series for Mac happening, they also have Keystones, which is one of the biggest events that happens in the Northeast of America. It is Pennsylvania State tournament that has happened now. I think it's like on its 9th year or 8th year, and ran by James Reed and Paul Lynn. I'm going to be helping them out by doing a remote weigh-in for them. And I'm going to be having Steve Fernandez is going to be helping me out with doing remote weigh-ins. Also, I think Beast Mode might be doing it, and we might have one other remote weigh-in accessible for Friday night weigh-ins, because it is an early tournament. I know it's going to be an early event, but I'd rather people show up, on Friday to hang out anyway, and have the whole day to enjoy themselves with arm wrestling, because we're going to be doing after the super matches. We're going to have the tournament. After the tournament, we're going to be packing things up and heading over to Linda Lynn of CUBB UTV's house. The address will be available upon request. Anybody wants to, or if they want to bring their party back to the hotel, they can do so. But we will have more food and beverages available, provided by Linda Lynn over there at her house in Lyndhurst. She's right on the water.
At Linda Lynn's, eating her
Linda Lynn. Yep. It's gonna be fun because I think she's got a pool. She'll bring a bathing suit. She'll be doing interviews as well.
You have a jacuzzi?
I wouldn't put it past her. I haven't asked her because she's redoing her house as we speak. So we're gonna be like the very first ones to break it.
She's got a jacuzzi.
Yeah, she has a pool, I think.
I'm gonna find that out for you. I'm gonna find out if she's getting one installed. So I know she's redoing her entire house, renovating everything. So we're gonna be the very first ones to be tearing the shit up. So, but I'm excited because it's gonna be a full day of arm wrestling, a full day of fun. And if you're planning to spend the weekend on Sunday, if it's nice, we will probably take a beach trip. And that's something that I haven't spoken to anyone about as of yet, but I'm talking to you guys now. that we're gonna go to Robert Moses or Jones Beach. Probably Robert Moses, and just enjoy a nice beach day. So, last minute shout out from Carolyn Looms. To everyone attending the Neil and Mayhem.
It's Yusuf and Aiden. And
Yep, it's Yusuf and Aiden. How many? So this is my first tournament, John. So I don't. We actually don't know how.
Over 100 entries. We're hoping for over 100 entries for the first one.
Yeah, we're hoping for over 100 at the first one. I will tell you, this is my 5th year having an event. Each year has been super matches with a barbecue, with like a big practice, and each year it started off with 50, and then the last year was almost about 100 people that showed up. So it's steadily growing. Being my 5th year.
Is there a capacity at the event at the venue, or?
I'm sure we're not going to hit it because it's a pretty large venue. It's a 13,000 square foot venue.
I think it can handle 300 people, 400 people.
Yeah. So everybody show up. Please.
Yeah.
Just show up.
Have good problems. Let's hit capacity and have good problems.
Yeah. I like good problems like that.
That's what I can't even go to my last venue. It was packed enough to where I need to get a bigger venue, which I did. So
yeah, bro.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a very good problem to have.
Yeah, you were there, Dan, the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, Dan was, yeah.
We were at capacity. It was just there was people.
Oh yeah, it was packed. But it wasn't too bad. It didn't feel squished.
No, but it felt like there was a lot of people in there. I mean, all around, all the way down, everybody sitting.
Hey, all the pictures showed it. Absolutely. All the pictures showed it.
No. Well, now Steve's upgrading. So.
Yeah. Also, just so you guys know, we will be having Robert Kelly doing the live streaming for the event. And he's planning on, he showed me a couple of things that he was working on the last event that he did, and his graphics are freaking amazing. And so I'm gonna get him and you, Jason, on a chat, so that way we can share some information about graphics for with Table Monkeys and Mac and all the other logos that we're gonna be utilizing and highlighting.
Yeah, he did all the graphics for East Source West in Texas.
That's who's going to be doing our live streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty intense. Awesome.
I'm excited because I want to help everybody build a product that everyone's going to be proud to be a part of.
Yeah, man.
Period.
So
cool.
Somebody's got a call coming in.
Yeah, Ian's calling me actually, and you know what? It's getting pretty late, so I'm going to have to.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, tell me
Ian.
No, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
I hope I can get you in trouble with Ian.
No, you didn't. But knowing Ian, that's going to be more than a 2-minute phone call. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for coming.
We'll talk again soon. Thank you guys for having me. Always a pleasure, and. Really looking forward to it. I'm sure we'll be on again before June 7th, but either way,
without a doubt. Definitely.
All the best, guys. Talk to you soon.
I'll see you, man.
All right, see you later, man.
Bye.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else you want to add?
No, nothing much. Same thing. I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna have to close the store, do whatever I gotta do, and then go home.
Yeah. You're closing late. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Thank you everybody for tuning in, and appreciate everybody for participating in today's stream. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to have a couple more updates on the summer kickoff event, and I might have another match actually to announce, but I'm going to keep that close to the chest until I have things a little bit more finalized. Nice. Everybody get home safe, be safe, enjoy your week, and see you guys next week.
Later, man.
See you later.